Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends 3-pack, including Ben 10 Robot, Psionic Sword Lady, and Shooty Johnson. These guys are characters which I'm guessing the mainstream group of people out there who are somewhat interested in comics but not particularly knowledgeable, they'll have no idea who any of these characters are. That's my guess. I happen to love this 3-pack. I think it's a very odd choice for Hasbro to make a 3-pack including really no anchor character. It seems strange to me, but I absolutely love it. I've wanted Nimrod for ages. Since Marvel Legends started, since I started collecting, I've been saying, make Nimrod. Make Nimrod. Make Nimrod. And then Shooty Johnson, he's needed an updated figure for a long time. His first release wasn't that good. And then Psionic Sword Lady, well, we still need a new one because they just won't do it right. Anyway, there's a lot to like about this set, definitely some stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6.5 inches, a little bit more, which makes him pretty close to 16.5 centimeters. Psylocke stands just shy of 16 centimeters, which makes her pretty close to 6.25 inches. And Nimrod stands, he's about 8.25 inches, which makes him pretty close to 21 centimeters. And since this is a 3-pack, we're going to do all 3 figures at once. I'm just going to do each section one at a time. But before we do that, the question of the day is, should we officially have FANTOMEX's name changed to Shooty Johnson? I'm not going to try to tell you how to answer that, but if you don't like Shooty Johnson, you're probably wrong. Alright, so aesthetically speaking, this guy is a very basic character design. It's just a solid white dude with black accents. And they nailed it. The white is clean, unlike every Kingpin figure ever, which looks like it was made in a toilet. His white parts are all very, very clean. I found like one tiny little spot. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. He's clean. There's one. There you go. You can see a little bit of a mark right there, maybe. So yeah, they did a really, really good job with this guy. It's so clean. The white is nice. It matches mostly. Even the different plastics are close enough that it's fine. And then amazingly, the line work on it, other than back here where it's a little janky, where you can see they had to do a second piece, like you can see how there's like different parts, but it's still really clean around the arms, around the chest, on the legs. It's all very, very nicely done. The paint job for the head, nice edge work, nice cleanness. The only real downside is there's a little bit of a black spot on his face in there, but otherwise they did a really nice job. The X on his belt is clean. This guy's aesthetics are perfect. I think this is a good body for him, especially since it's underneath the jacket. It gives him a little extra meat without making him look real bulky. I think this is just the exact version of FANTOMEX we should have gotten forever ago. I wouldn't have minded some shading, that's for sure. Solid white figure could definitely use some shading, but it still looks really good. This is a good use of Bucky cap. It's a good use of a bunch of old parts. Pretty much everything except for the belt and harnesses, it looks like. And the head, it's a new head. So, good use of old parts. I'm going to give this guy an 8 out of 10. Psylocke, let's give her an aesthetic rating real quick. Let's get her accessories out of here. Psylocke's accessories, there we go. Let's just talk about the wrong thing now. This is a weak-ass release. It's terrible. I'm just going to dive right in. Oh my gosh, why'd they use this body for her? She has 0 hips, 0 figure. She's not drawn this way ever. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. Maybe they do draw her this way occasionally. But Psylocke is generally a fairly voluptuous, that's the right word, voluptuous character. She's got some hips, she's got some shape to her. This one looks like a teenager. Maybe this is a teenage version of her. Can somebody tell me if that's the case? The artwork on the box didn't look like it, but this looks like a teenager. It does not look like Psylocke at all. In the body, the paintwork is okay for her outfit, but since it's just paintwork, it looks a little cheap if you get too close. They didn't do a great job with it. It's okay. And then the face, I mean, it just doesn't look like Psylocke. It's not sculpted well, it's not painted well. Her eyes are just solid black dots with the black line work on there. I mean, they're trying to make her look Asian, and it looks like they just didn't know how to sculpt it. Honestly, it just doesn't look that good. There's a little bit of shading in the hair, I'll give them that, that looks nice. But ultimately, this is not a very strong release. Is it better than previous releases? Maybe, but that's only because all of the actually the last Psylocke release wasn't that bad. They're just not good. They haven't made a good Psylocke yet, as far as I'm concerned. They don't look good. We still need a new Psylocke. So this one gets a 6 out of 10. The best thing about it is honestly the shading in the hair. All right, let's set her aside and let's talk about Nimrod. Get out of there. Okay, Nimrod. Well, there's not much to say. He looks like Nimrod. There are versions of him with a lot of pink, or at least with like a pink aura. I would have preferred some pink airbrushing or more panels of pink, just so that it's not solid white. But this is okay for inaccuracy, from an accuracy standpoint, so that's all right. I like that they did his feet. It's fine. I've had some people tell me that this plastic up here doesn't match this plastic and it looks really bad. They're not wrong. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. And frankly, this plastic is the same as this plastic, at least, if not more parts. It doesn't stand out anywhere near as much as would be a problem. As far as I'm concerned, it's not perfect, but that's okay. The pink line works really clean. The gem in the chest, the translucent plastic in there looks really good. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's a freaking fine. it's a fine Nimrod. I'm okay with it. So I'm gonna give this. I'll give it an 8. It is what it's supposed to be. It definitely could have some shading. Like, throw some pink on there and it'll look really nice. But like, honestly, right now the back part is the best looking part because there's nothing really on the front. But it's okay. It is what it's supposed to be. So that's all right. So aesthetics all the way around, not bad except for Psylocke. Let's go ahead and talk about accessories for everybody. We'll start with Shooty Johnson. All he gets is 2 guns, which don't have any paint or anything, but they're sculpted well enough. But we get muzzle flashes and smoke effects for when you're not using the muzzle flash. And I love that. I love that so much. Those are the kind of accessories we have needed all along with Marvel Legends. They bring so much more versatility to the figures. They're going to look so much more dynamic on the shelf, whether you have them in a neutral hero pose with the smoke coming out of the guns, or a shooting pose with the muzzle flashes. It looks great. They did a great job with both of those accessories. Very pleased with that. For Psylocke, we have her sword with a swirly that goes around the sword again, and then we have her little dagger thingy. And they actually made these out of opaque plastic. There's a tiny hint of translucence to it, but it's mostly opaque and it actually looks really cool. It's a nice change of pace. I like that a whole bunch. Same thing for her little face piece. Lots of shading on those. That's cool. And then we do have 2 gripping hands and 1 fist hand for her various poses, so that's pretty cool. And then for Nimrod, we have 2 fist hands and then 2 what I'm going to call repulsor hands, because he does come with these 2 crazy looking repulsor blast type things, which I love. They don't, however, have any shading on them, which would have been cool because all the other figures got shading on their parts, but he didn't. But still, that's very nice. And we do have an alternate head, so we have the head with the pink face and the white trim, and then we have the head with the pink trim and the white face. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, we get his little butterfly wings and spinal column thingy that goes onto his back, and that's very nicely saturated, translucent plastic. Wonderful array of accessories all the way around. Only thing I think we're really missing: alternate hands for Shooty Johnson. Right now, he only has trigger finger hands, so if you put the guns in the holster, he can't do anything else. He looks kind of weird, but that's still, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 for accessories, other than his alternate hand not being an alternate hand. I mean, he doesn't have them. That's a good batch of accessories. Okay, on to his articulation. His Bucky cap, we're going to go real fast. Can't really lean back because of the jacket, leans forward fine. Rotation is fine. A little bit of attitude, just the tiniest little bit. Shoulders have full rotation there. Can raise them up better than horizontal. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow is good. Wrist swivel and vertical hinge. Yes! Vertical hinge. That's the way you do it. 2 vertical hinges on 1 figure. He uses guns. Actually, any accessory pretty much would have been good, but he uses guns and those work nicely. Very, very pleased with that. If you want to see a video all about how figures should have certain types of wrist joints for certain accessories, I'll post it up there, but I did one showing you how it works in real life on a human with real things. I mean props. Ab crunch technically works. Jacket gets in the way though. Waist twist is fine. Hips, they work, but his thingies right here get in the way a little bit. They're fighting you the whole way. So, oh, you know what? This leg was stuck on mine. Let's try this leg. Oh yeah, okay, so it's not the straps. It's just that leg is really tight on mine for some reason. But otherwise, the legs work fine as expected. Thigh swivel is in there. Double jointed knee is in there. By the way, I know the lighting's weird on this one because they're like half solid white and half solid black figures. Like these two couldn't be more opposite. So hopefully the lighting's not too bad and I'm able to adjust it for you guys and it looks okay. Double knees work. Shin swivel works. These guys fall off like crazy. I don't know what they changed about them. But I would say heat these up and then glue them in place at the top of the boot because they just do not want to even go in place in the first place. Still have baby feet and long lower legs, but I can't even move that foot. What the heck? But we get really good range out of the foot. That's probably the best ever, and the swivel is okay. So his articulation gets, I'll give it an 8. Bucky Cap is still an okay body for a lot of things. For Psylocke, we have the hinged head, which totally just breaks the neck because of lollipops. Terrible, terrible lollipops. You can't really lean it back or forward at all because of the hair or the lollipop, but you can rotate it around. It's at the right height. It's just the neck doesn't connect all the way up. So rotate it around is fine. You can give it a little bit of attitude, though it feels very loose. It'll do. Shoulders, better than horizontal, full rotation. No problem there. Single jointed elbow, better than 90 by a lot, and that's where you get your swivel. So that's okay. You have your wrist swivel and hinge. Her hinged gripping hands have horizontal hinges, which is not what you would want for a sword. Diaphragm joint is very basic on this release. It's not very good. Definitely a bummer there. Her belt thingy looks kind of bulky and chunky, but whatever. Hips are terrible looking on this figure. They go out a little bit better than 45 though, so that's okay. They go forward, that's fine. They don't go back all that far. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is fine. And for the ankle, it goes all the way back and all the way forward, and you get an okay ankle rocker. So articulation on her for Marvel Legends female, other than the neck being janky and the torso being janky, it's pretty much standard. I'll give it a 7. It balances out to about a 7. All right, and then Nimrod, which I'm guessing everybody thinks is going to have like the best articulation ever. I'm gonna tell you right now he doesn't. It's a bummer. The head articulation is... Oh, that's right. It doesn't have any. It's Nimrod. He doesn't have a head or a neck. He has kind of a head, I guess. There's nothing there. I love this. I love this. Do you notice what I love? You guys should know this. If you've been watching my reviews for any amount of time, you know what I love. Shoulder pad moves with the arm. It's such a better design than not doing that because watch this. You can raise the arm and it works fine going out to the side. No issue. You raise the arm this way and you don't get the shoulder pad all jammed up on top of his bicep and everything. It just moves with the arm. That's so much better, and he has obviously full rotation and you can get the arm up horizontal. You're not going to have any trouble posing this guy because of the shoulder pad, because they put it with the arm. It looks so much better that way. You have your bicep swivel, that's fine. Single jointed elbow, not quite 90 degrees. Pretty limited. You have your wrist swivel and your hinge. Is it enough of a hinge for the repulsor blast? I don't know. I'm betting he's going to be aiming down. Yeah, that's not great. Is there a way to... If we do this and this... I haven't really messed with this guy too much. Let's see. Is that going to look janky? Like real bad? It's okay. It's doable. They definitely should have accounted for that though and given you more wrist action. So that's alright. It's not great. Diaphragm joint on this guy. Oh boy. It's worse than I thought. It has a rotation, but mine doesn't want to go, and I'm not going to risk breaking it because he doesn't need it as far as I'm concerned anyway. He's just going to stand there for me. He's not known for being particularly dynamic in his poses, but you technically get a waist twist, but mine just does not want to go. Alright, for the hips, oh my god, it's so bad. The articulation, I mean. I didn't expect it to be any better, but good grief, it just doesn't even exist. There's really nothing there other than a thigh swivel. As far as the knees go, well, you get perfect knee joints, so if you ever needed him to just bend his knees for no real reason, then that's fine. That's okay. And then for the ankle, I think it's just a big ball peg in there that lets the foot move around. It could be a double. It feels like a single, but I can't say for sure. It's not like you really need much. I mean, he has these giant Mega Man boots anyway, so you're just going to be getting his feet flat on the ground and that's it. So yeah, as expected, Nimrod, you're not going to be posing him a whole lot. That's unfortunate, but also to be expected. So Practically speaking, it's fine for him, but realistically, it's like a 2. He has virtually no posability. So 2 out of 10 for his posability. All right, time for a final verdict for the 3-pack nobody expected, and X-Men fans really are happy to have, I'm guessing. I love it personally because I really like FANTOMEX, the figure and the character's okay. I really wanted a Nimrod, and this is gonna have to do. And this one still sucks. So final verdict on this is it's not necessarily the best thing in the world because it came with 1/3 of a figure with the other 2. But I think it's not a bad way to introduce a reissue, or a new version of 2 older figures with 1 figure that people really wanted. This does encourage sales of something people might not have wanted in these 2 figures so much, especially this one. And because everybody, I'm guessing, that collects Marvel Legends wanted Nimrod. So it's kind of a better thing for Hasbro than it is for collectors, but it's still not a bad set. If she didn't suck, it'd be a really solid set, so I don't have any complaints really in that regard. It's just a matter of being aware of what they're doing, you know. If they just released these 2, I'm guessing some people might not pick them up, especially this one. Put them with Nimrod. Everybody's got a new FANTOMEX in their collection. I mean, Shooty Johnson in their collection, so... Yeah, I'm on to you, Hasbro. I personally don't mind. You guys can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. But I like this set. It is what I expected it to be, other than Psylocke sucking. So if it was just these 2, I'd give it 9 out of 10. Pretty good set. Including her, I'm just going to drop it down to an 8. It's not that bad. Like, she's not god-awful terrible, but she's definitely a disappointment. So it's still a really strong set, and I recommend it if you're collecting Marvel Legends. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should, because I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.